Your mind will make you rich or poor depending on what you think. Welcome to my channel. My name is Genevieve Stafford Jack, and I'm coming through live again today, sharing my thoughts on 5 personal development tips, or should I say, 5 personal growth and development tips. And I trust that this will be able to help you navigating life going forward. So, the first personal growth and development tip that I would love to share is learn from mistakes. It sounds pretty straightforward, but what I find is that oftentimes when people and that includes me, when I make a mistake, I sit there and I think, "Oh dang it, I could have done better." There is no problem in doing that. Sitting down really just understanding what could I have done better. The problem I find is that many of us sit there and we wallow and we get upset and we get aggressive and we get to a point of flip, this could have been better for me, and then what happens is that we start thinking about it, and because we think about it, it grows and grows and grows to a point that a small bump in the road in the morning may sound like World War II by evening because of all the what if scenarios that go on in our mind. And in today's development tip number one, I truly believe is that if we take our time to sit down and really look at what could I have done better, we will be able to do better. Personal growth and development tip number two. That's a mouthful, right? But just reiterating that today we're talking about personal growth and development tips. Number two, simply make decisions. I have found that some people just hana around the same fire year in and year out without effectively going to make a decision about where they're going to. And here's a simple thing, right? We'll make a decision. We get in front of a discipline that we're chasing. Like, for example, at one given stage, I was so obsessed about software testing uh, that I didn't move forward in parts of my career because I was thinking, should I do this course that's going to make me a better software tester, or should I do that course that's going to make me a better tester? No, no, this one looks better. No, no, that one looks better. This qualification will get me. No, no, that qualification will get me that. That's what I mean about make a decision. Sometimes you're going to find that the decisions that you make are not going to be perfect up front, but the fact that you got moving, you then you're then going to move in the right direction of actually getting to the thing that you are wanting to do. And I truly believe that in terms of personal growth, many of us don't really become our true selves because we get stuck with this tip number two. So I want to encourage you on the road to becoming who you are meant to be. Make a decision. Be careful not to stand around this pot long enough to decide, hey, is this thing for me? Is this thing not for me? Do it. And by the results of your doing, it will show you whether that was for you or not for you. Personal growth and development tip number three, educate yourself. I find that this really talks to the first two tips because when I learn from a mistake, I've either made that mistake because I don't have the skill. So what do I need to do? I need to go and get the skill, right? Which means I should educate myself. And in making my decision, would my education in self help me get to my next point? Absolutely. Why? Because you're going to be then making very clear decisions. And this is what I found in my whole entrepreneurial journey. When I was working my 8 to 5 job, and even when I've come into entrepreneurship 100%, the more I educated myself, the more I found that I was learning a lot more about who I am. The second component was that I was then able to make informed decisions around the things that are going to affect my business. So if you are sitting at this kind of thing of should I do this or shouldn't I do that? Maybe if you find the right education, the skill will be able to guide you. If not, do it And the lesson, which is learn from your mistakes from point one, will be able to say, hey, I should have done this better. Maybe education could have informed me. So I trust that this video has been helpful so far. We're going to go on to the last two tips on personal growth and development. And I would like to say, if you're enjoying this video so far, smash in the like button and share this particular video so that others around you can also understand what would it take to become who they are meant to be. Personal growth tip number 4. You see what I did there? I just made it shorter because that was a mouthful. Is help others. And let me tell you the secret sauce that I learned, and I learned in hindsight more than anything, is helping others. And in as much as I'm somebody that would help others just in share because, it's part of who I am, one of the things I learned, especially this side of entrepreneurship, is that when I'm helping others, I am reinforcing the education that I have. I am able to share with them the lessons that I learned from the mistakes that I've made, which then helps enable them to make the decisions that they actually need to be making. And that for me is one of the most powerful of the 5 tips that I'm sharing today, because helping others reinforces you learning from your mistake, it reinforces you making a decision, and it reinforces you actually getting the education that you need to help steer who you are. Because in that point, you can't help somebody from an empty cup. You can't help somebody from theory. That is my opinion, because I think then you would be misleading somebody. If it's just from theory, I would then like you to say to the next person, hey, look, I heard about this, or I heard about this, not necessarily I've done that. But I find the power in helping others reinforces who I am, right? Reinforces what I have learned. It doesn't make me, it just reinforces and bolsters who I am. Tip number 5. Last but certainly not least, I believe is that in personal growth, we should understand who we are. Therefore, we need to understand spirituality. And this is what I mean. I'm not about to convert anybody into Christianity, but what I'm wanting to bring to your awareness is that if we are acting in the space of spirituality, whether we Hindu, whether we Muslim, whether we just don't believe, because then that's something that you believe in the non existence of a God, whether you are a believer or whatever it is that you believe in life, when you develop that spirituality, there's 2 threads I've learned in spiritual development that is common across, right? And that is prayer and meditation. What do I mean by prayer and meditation? Prayer is your conversation to your deity, to your God, to who you believe you're speaking to, into the universe, or whatever the case is, right? Your communication line with the one that you believe has helped steer you to where you are. But in this communication line, I do believe prayer is what I share, and when I need to hear, I need to be quiet. And many of us relate silence to meditation. Because when we go into meditation, how many times have we heard, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and release everything? How many times have we heard that, right? And then often in meditation, we get to this point of do that at least 3 times to quiet yourself. Because when you are quiet, you are able to hear. So if I'm praying, right, and I go into a time of meditation to listen, my communication line is open. And somewhere along the line, I'm developing who I am spiritually so I can navigate this journey called life. So I want to encourage you with these 5 personal growth and development tips. Really just put yourself and immerse yourself into the journey of becoming you, regardless of which point you're going to start at. I often believe that we should actually start in spirituality, which is point number 5, and be able to grow into the others. I wonder what you think. I would love to hear from you down in the comments below so that I could actually hear what your thoughts are. Until the next video, you take care, be blessed, and remember, becoming yourself is really just getting in tune with who you are and what you are meant to be.